I shared this in our recent newsletter for April, but it bears repeating. I absolutely love the spring season. I'm someone who really relishes in being outdoors when the temperature is neither too hot nor too cold. Anything between 45 and 65 degrees is the sweet spot for me. I just love the slight chill in the air, the refreshing rains, the animals arising from their slumber, vegetation springing up. Spring and fall are my favorites, and I actually love snow too, so winter is an old friend. But the summer can go someplace else as far as I'm concerned. I'm not a fan of anything hotter than, say, 75 or so if I had to pick a favorite season, it would be spring. But there was one year when I completely missed the spring. It was as though it just did not happen for me. That year was 2020. I was so busy working and tending to my family, all of us quarantined in our homes, that I barely did leave my home. We live in a gorgeous spot right on the Connecticut Audubon. There are acres and acres of places to explore. It was idyllic to pass the time during the pandemic. But that season, I really didn't venture outdoors. I missed smelling so many of the flowers that lined our property. We were all in quarantine, the kids doing that remote learning thing that I'm very glad is in the rearview mirror. I had just started a new congregation in March of 2020. Great timing, I know, right? There simply were not enough hours in the day for me to get outside. I literally blinked and it was summer. Now, in my defense, have you all noticed how quickly spring seems to fly by these days? When I was younger, springs were longer, and fall was too. In fact, with global warming and the gradual destruction of our gorgeous planet, all seasons except summers have shortened. A recent Washington Post article indicates that from 1952 to 2011, spring and fall in the Northern Hemisphere have each lost about a day every decade. Winter has lost 2 days per decade, and summer has gained all of those. All of the seasons are also gradually getting warmer. I'm glad I won't be alive come the year 2100 because we are told that by then it is projected that summer could last as long as 6 months out of the year. That's not that long from now. The arrival of Easter often coincides with the spring season, and with this Sunday being a Sunday to celebrate Earth Day and beauty and all that God has made for us to enjoy. It's so interesting that we have this story of doubting Thomas. Jesus appears to the disciples, but Thomas had been absent. Maybe he was late, or maybe he got the short straw and was picking up the takeout lunch or something. But for whatever reason, he missed Jesus' miraculous arrival. And he doubts his friend's accounts. Unless I see the mark of the nails in his hands and put my finger in the mark of the nails and my hand in his side, I will not believe. Picture or it didn't happen, says Thomas. There are many of us who are prone to doubting. We need a little more evidence. In fact, liberal arts educations these days actually teach younger folks to be skeptics. This is a part of our culture, and there is a gift there to be able to filter through what we hear versus what we actually believe. Many of us are more prone to this. We need to see and to hear and to taste and to touch that a thing is real before we can truly believe it. And here is the good news that this passage offers those of us who are built that way. Jesus delivers. Thomas tends to be the focus of the doubting Thomas passage, right? But really, this story is about Jesus. Thomas needs a little more, and churches shame him for that all the time, but Jesus does not. His response to Thomas's need is very simple. He shows up and meets the need and says, come, touch, see, it's me. I'm really alive. He meets Thomas where he is. There are many people in this world prone to doubting. A few minutes ago, I quoted a handful of numbers from a reputable news source about climate change, and hopefully some of you believe me, but others of you may not have, and I'm very aware of that. There are climate change doubters out there who seek proof that climate change is real. And here's the thing about this. For every one of the climate change doubters are thousands of people who believe in climate change, but who don't think that it holds much relevance for them, because they won't be alive in the year 2100, when summer will be 6 months out of the year. And really, what difference can we make in this anyway? If this is the trajectory we're heading, what difference can we make? This problem is so big. It's our whole world. Our church has taken a different approach. This April, we redoubled our efforts in this area, presenting in worship mission moments about recycling, energy, pesticides, and food sourcing will come up shortly this morning. The missions committee has dubbed this month Land and Sea. In addition to education, this group has taken things a step further to focus on what we can actually do together. The problem is big, but so is our will. We're a tenacious bunch. The missions crew has created a subgroup known as the Green Team, answering a call from our denomination to attempt to become a more so-called green church. We'll be looking at all sorts of things, and you'll be hearing more about that from here and from there and from hopefully around there in the months to come. Things like using energy-efficient fixtures here in the church. We replaced a number of bulbs in this way recently, by the way, thanks to Bettina for leading that effort. We'll be looking at which disposable goods we use during our coffee hour. We'll be thinking about how our office recycling process goes. I don't have a recycling bin in my office. We need to fix that. These are just a few examples of many. But as we care for creation and as we savor the beauty of this world that God has made for us, the call to care for this planet is one we are working towards taking more seriously. And because we have this focus, it can be easy to put down or be dismissive of those who do not make this kind of effort. It can be easy to pinpoint the doubters as folks who are really not worth our time. But it is here where our Doubting Thomas passage compels me. Jesus did not say to himself, Thomas, he's a lost cause. He's never going to believe. Might as well just leave him alone and do our thing. No. Jesus came back to the same group and went when Thomas would be there. He gave him what he needed in order to believe. And then, and I love this part, did you all notice Thomas didn't even need to actually put his fingers in the marks or put his hand in Jesus' side? Jesus shows up and offers that, just what Thomas asked for, but without actually doing these things. Thomas blurts out, my Lord and my God. Beloved of God, let's not give up on people. Let's not give up on the doubters. Maybe we need to have a little bit of faith that they too can change heart. I missed spring of 2020. As far as I know, it seriously just didn't happen. It went from winter to summer that year in a flash. Remember how time didn't make any sense anyway then? Sometimes we just miss stuff. Sometimes missing things makes it harder for us to believe that it's real. The person who had a difficult father struggles to become a compassionate parent himself. The person who has never seen snow can scarcely believe what the dead of winter can bring to other parts of the country. The person who grew up in a racist home, overtly so, might struggle with the Black Lives Matter movement. And the person who does not think that individuals can make a difference in climate change might scoff at our efforts. But here's the thing. The God who journeyed all the way from heaven to earth to cross to grave shows up for us too. Just like Jesus with Thomas, providing us what we need when we most need it, nudging us towards change. Some people need more of a push, some only a nudge. That kind of godly patience, that kind of spiritual accompaniment compels me to accompany others where they are too, even when I would just rather work with people who already get it, right? As we do this work of environmental justice, may we remember the beauty of the seasons. Yes, even the summer, I know. May we remember our work to continue to cultivate that beauty for our human family yet to be born. And may we continue to reach out to those who need a little more evidence to get on board. They may have missed something, they may have overlooked something, but God does not overlook them. The work of sanctification takes longer for the stubborn among us, and sometimes that includes all of us. May God continue to grant us patience and perseverance for the work ahead, even if we do stop for a moment to get outside and smell the flowers. In the name of God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit.